This is an intuition-guided action. Love flourishes through empathy and honesty. Finances will benefit from thoughtful planning, and social life thrives on purposeful connection.
Welcome to Cards and Constellations with Bonnie Morris and Dawn Rumor Rivera from Sonoran Mystic Tarot. Here, we blend astrology and tarot to guide you through the twists and turns for the week ahead. Don't forget to hit subscribe and share. Let's dive into your cosmic journey together.
Pisces, let's take a look at your social life this week. Supportive connections and creative collaboration. Your social energy favors meaningful interactions over casual encounters. Collaborating with friends or colleagues on creative or charitable projects brings satisfaction and potential recognition. Avoid overextending yourself. Select activities that align with your heart and values. Small acts of kindness or support can strengthen your social bonds more than attending large gatherings. Don, what do you have?
Well, you probably all saw me have to bend over 2 times because I had cards lying out, which is nice. Again, the Morgan Greer deck, it delivers. If y'all want to get a Morgan Greer deck, please check out the description in this video, and you'll find a link to buy the Morgan Greer deck. It's such a good deck. It's really wonderful. But again, lots of activity. The other decks I use don't. The first thing that popped out was the Page of Pentacles. Okay, and for a social environment, that's kind of nice because again, you're gonna be invited to something. It's not just a party. This is because it's a Pentacles energy to me. You're gonna be invited to an experience. So this could be like a gala situation. It could be a murder mystery meal. It could be like one of those theaters where you have dinner and theater at the same time, that kind of thing. This is an experience, and this could be even a stage play or something like that. It's going to be live interaction, and it's interesting because you really do want to go. You need to go to this. There's something special about being there in that moment. And the cards, it's fascinating to me because again, the Sun card's like you got to go. This is going to be this will be very fun, and it's going to change you. There's going to be something happens there that's going to change you. Now, if you are somebody who's been thinking about maybe getting into acting or getting into singing or getting into writing or something, this might be that moment where when you go, you're like, I finally realized how I can contribute to theater or how I can get involved or something. This could be that you go to a documentary and afterwards they're going to have the people who wrote the documentary and they're there on the stage. You know, one of those things where you get to meet the people who made this happen, and you then get inspired. There's something inspirational coming from being at this event, and something that's, again, it's going to be more interactive in that sense. So where you're going to be now compelled to do something, and you look, this is the Magician card. You're going to get out and do it. Now these are the 3 cards that flew out. So again, these are not drawn. These flew out. So the Magician is making magic. This is you getting inspired by what you saw and what you experienced, and then wanting to get out and get involved and do something about it. So you may even join a charity and get involved. You may join a movement. Maybe something happens and you now join a movement. This could be a political movement. It could be a social movement. It could be all kinds of movements. This could be you getting into getting involved in writing something and creating your own film, maybe making your own music, making your voice heard. This is about you speaking up and you getting your voice in there, which is wonderful. And then here's the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles is saying this is going to give you like it's going to take a little while to get ramped up, okay? Because again, the Queen is a longer version, but you're going to put the energy in, and as you put the energy in, it's going to give you in return quite a bit of positive benefit from it. So you want to do this. You really want to do this. Make sure this week, I'm telling you, take care of the social event. If it's something special, get out there and do it. You are going to be thrilled that you did. And let us know how this resonates. When you go out and do that, let us know. When you came back, did you be inspired to maybe write music or write a play or to write a book? Were you inspired to become an actor? Were you inspired to become a singer? Were you inspired to take up a cause for some reason or other? Let us know. Share this with us. We always respond to whatever you send us our way. One of the best ways to reach us, of course, is once you subscribe to our channel, hitting that lower button, the button in the lower right-hand corner, If you're on Sonoran Mystic Tarot, which is mine, pop over to Your Love Goddess and hit that button over there. If you're on her side, please pop over to my side. Sonoran Mystic Tarot, do the same thing, and Cards and Goddess. But let us know. Share the love with us and let us know what's doing, because this is fascinating, and this could be earth changing. This could be, I mean, we talk about people not so much engaged as they used to be. This could really be the beginning of a genesis. This is the genesis of a new movement of something. And I think we're all looking for a new movement. We're looking for change because, again, this is a trying time. So that's what I got, Miss Bonnie.
Okay, yes, social energy that favors meaningful interactions and creative collaboration.
We may see the genesis of new social warriors. That would be so interesting.
Could be. You never know. Let's move on to money, money, money. Careful planning and intuitive insight. Financial matters benefit from a balanced approach, combining intuition and practicality. Avoid impulsive purchases and focus on long-term goals. A new opportunity to stabilize or increase income could appear midweek. Trust your instincts, but verify the details carefully. Keep a written record of financial plans. Even a brief review can reveal adjustments that will improve security. Okay, Don, what do you have for money? Show me the.
Oh, go ahead. I would say no jumpers. So unfortunately, no jumpers. Okay. But I do have a Knight of Rods. And so when the Knight of Rods comes out, the Knight of Rods is just, you're, unfortunately, you're not blessed by this week by money showing up automatically. It's not going to do it. This is not a week of amazing things happening that way. This is a week of you just keeping your head forward and pushing forward your shoulder to the grindstone and moving forward with whatever it is you're doing. Now, when you're talking, especially with the finance side, this could also be a situation where your job may be getting a little challenging or a little trite or a little frustrating, and you're feeling like you're maybe just going through the motions at this point. So when this card comes up in reference to maybe a job, it may be time for you to start looking for a new job, maybe looking for a new opportunity, or maybe looking for a new position, even inside the company. I just think you're weary of your job. You're just kind of tired of the job with that. And it's interesting here because there is another job opportunity out there. This is another Knight, by the way. We have a Knight there, and this is a Knight, but this is Knight of Pentacles. So this is that energy of there is another job out there that really would suit you and fire you up again. It would cover more bases, because this is all just about work, work, work. But this would be maybe something that when you look at it, it maybe helps you with your feeling of benefiting and your feeling of accomplishment, your feeling of acknowledgement of your skill set, because I think maybe your skill set's not being used to its fullest. So this reading could be one of definitely looking for a new job. It may take a while to find that job because the Queen of Swords is here, and so she's like, you may have to look in ways you haven't looked before, because maybe you haven't been in the workforce, haven't been looking in the workforce for a job in a while. So maybe you have to learn to find different ways of getting a job, maybe networking and so forth, like we talked about beginning. But again, do the changing for that. A lot more questions coming up than answers. So don't be surprised if over the next week or two that this burning gets stronger and stronger and stronger, and more questions come in than answers, and at one point it does drive you to a point where you need to do that. You need to make a shift. So someone's getting antsy, and they're getting a new job eventually. They're not staying where they are, and this is the week of the genesis of that movement. I'm not saying they're going to get the job this week. This is the week where they start questioning and start doing the genesis to build down the road for a new job.
Well, this says that the new opportunity to increase income could appear midweek.
Mm-hmm.
Trust your instincts. That's what you need to do.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's move on to the love and romance. For the moon this week, we start off with the last quarter in Cancer on the 13th. Now, that's when we celebrate all of our success and the end of a project, and then we turn away and we look for the next new moon. Now, to find out what we're celebrating, we got to go all the way back, and we go back to the new moon, which occurred in Cancer on July 17th of 2023. Then the first quarter was on April 15th of 2024. And that's when you did all of the work. And then the full moon began this January 13th of 2025. And that's when you made any changes. So now let's go into the void of course. On the 14th, the void of course begins at 5:04 a.m. Mountain Standard Time until 10:47 a.m. when it goes into Leo. On the 16th, it begins at 5:05 a.m. and goes until 6:06 p.m. and then it enters into Virgo. On the 18th, it begins at 9:10 p.m. until the 19th at 4:02 a.m. when it goes into Libra. Let's move on to the love and romance. Emotional connection and heartfelt communication. Romantic energy is heightened, making this an ideal week to express your feelings honestly. If you're in a relationship, small gestures of empathy and understanding will strengthen bonds. Singles may attract someone through shared creative or spiritual interests. Be mindful midweek. Clarity in communication prevents misunderstandings. Listen as much as you speak. Your empathetic nature is magnetic and helps deepen emotional bonds. Dawn, what do you see?
All righty then. First card out. Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune with love. He's going to spin that wheel.
Hey, that's destined stuff. Don't make fun of it.
I can't help it. My visual was having like one of those things at a circus, you know, a carnival, and then having somebody standing at certain points, and you spin it until okay, you're the winner. You're the. Oh, yes. But you have been waiting for a while. And guess what? Someone's coming into your life who is meant to be there for you, and you're going to appreciate it. It's going to be a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, a financial guy. It could be a judge. It could be somebody like that. This is somebody who offers advice or guidance or so forth. So this new person that's coming into your life, again, if you're not coupled, if you're coupled, I don't want to talk about new people coming in your life because that's dangerous. We ain't doing there. But if you are not coupled, this is telling you that there's a new person coming in, and somebody who is a professional, somebody who gives advice in their role. And so there's somebody who speaks well. You're going to be drawn to the way in which they speak and the tone in which they use and how they connect. That's going to be one of the things that excites you about this person. There's somebody who is strong-willed, strong in determination, somebody who was probably ex-military, by the way. This is an interesting twist. Somebody who was probably ex-military. They may have started their own business if they're not already in somebody else's higher echelon, and somebody who has traveled the world, and somebody who's going to rock your world. So this is a new relationship energy coming in. It's fascinating too because you've been through a line of losers. There's been a few folks you have experienced someone. Let me know, by the way. Send me. I'm dying because that card tells me. I'm dying to hear the experiences. Tell me about some of your worst dates, some of your worst experiences. I'm curious. I really am. I'd like to know that because this is telling me you have had your share of not so good ones. But it takes you the not so good ones to appreciate eventually the good ones. And this guy really is a good one. I mean, he is like the knight in shining armor, and he is new energy in you. He's giving you new life and new understanding, but he's also helping you to understand that you have value more than you thought. You have worth more than you know. And you have love more than you can give. And that is wonderful. This is such a good reading. Now, I'm going to go back over real quickly to those who are coupled. If you're already coupled, then the way that I can see these cards rolling out is, remember, again, with that Wheel of Fortune, you spun the wheel already. You've gotten a good relationship. But I think that you may be in a situation where the relationship is kind of having a little bit of a rough patch. And you may need to get to a counselor. You may need to have a counseling situation with someone to appreciate the fact that your knight in shining armor still is that knight in shining armor. It's just the world has tinted them a little bit, and so they've been through a little bit, and so therefore, with all the struggles they've been through, you kind of forget that one fresh newness that brought you to them. So know that that if you're if you're in a situation where you're feeling a little bit like that's kind of the new war off, get some counseling and get some relationship counseling to appreciate the person that they were and that they still are, but you can't see it because of some of the strange stuff. Happy endings in the end. If you get it, happy endings in the end. And that, what better way to pull it all together than at the Ten of Pentacles, which tells you that the person you're with already meets all the criteria. It's just that sometimes it gets a little stale or they forget and you both lose your way from time to time. That's what counseling will do for you to help you get back to your way. But for the folks who aren't in a relationship, damn, you are shine.
Romantic energy is heightened. Sounds like it.
Oh yes, oh yes. Send us some letters. Send us some comments. Let us know. I'm curious. Lord have mercy. Maybe send us some pictures. I want to, and not some X-rated pictures.
Careful.
Exactly. Send us some pictures of this new love. I'm curious. I think we're both curious.